Kareem's saying the one-and-done system is a travesty, and they're just using the college system as a stepping stone to the NBA.
It's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Free farm system.
Yeah, I mean,
the guys that you want to stay are using college as a stepping stone to the next level.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's what it's. I mean, college isn't the minor league. It is what it is.
But here's the conundrum,
You're either
right?
gonna play 4 years or not.
If you're basketball in general, right, is that what makes? And it's funny that the least popular sport actually does it the best, which is the NHL.
Hockey.
We have
So
the opportunity now where you can actually get drafted and stay in college. Or
Smart.
if you decide, I don't want to go to college, you can go play major junior. Or you can just decide, listen, I'm just going to turn pro. I'll sign with a team. You get drafted, and you go play in the farm system, right? Like, I mean,
I'll get paid to get developed.
There's play in the Swedish Elite League. You can play in Germany. You can play in Russia. I mean, there's plenty of different things you can do. It obviously starts with the NBA, but college basketball is in a weird spot because the guys that you're upset leave, the one-and-dones, those are the guys that you really want playing college basketball. Those guys are the most talented. Those are the five-star recruits.
Well, they're good for business.
They're great for business, right?
But it's not good for their business to be in college basketball.
And the best thing for the NBA would – no, it isn't. But the best thing for the NBA would be have this Gatorade League, the G League, turned into something like the AHL in hockey where you're playing in nice arenas that are filled. Like you're not playing in a YMCA with 2,000 people.
The D League's not like that. The D League does play in arenas. Now
it's not glamorous.
No, it's not glamorous.
I would much rather be a stud in Kentucky than a stud on the Westchester Knicks.
And that's the difference. The difference is if you had a choice between playing in front of 20,000 people in Lexington, Kentucky, and being on a national spotlight, or playing in Grand Rapids in front of 3,000 people, and nobody knows who you are.
Bottom line is,
you're always going to Kentucky.
If I had the opportunity to walk into a sorority as a member of the Kentucky Wildcats basketball team, I would much rather do that than walk into an Applebee's as a member of the Westchester Knicks.
Yeah.
Drop the mic.
Done deal. It's over.
That's what it is, though. That's what you're selling. So it may be, look, you might be making a couple of grand playing in the D League and being developed as a pro.
Or you can go play professionally overseas, right?
Oh, you could do that too. And again, you're getting lost.
Isn't that what Brandon Jennings did?
Yeah. That's what he did to certain.
And the beauty of what the NHL does too is even when you get drafted, right? Like you can still have an agent. Like you get drafted and you go back to college, you can still have an agent. Like he brings you through the entire process.
Yes, the advisor.
At some point when you do your deal, he's going to be your agent. But now, once we get drafted and we go back to school, unfortunately, like everyone knows my story, I missed it by 4 days, so I couldn't do that, is we'll have kids that got drafted from college, they'll come in during the summer.
And
but now you're developing the kid. Like you're teaching them a system. Like you're giving them a workout program. So you can still do that.
So you got a chance to go through a pro practice.
Exactly.
The hockey model is the one that the NBA has to look at. Because anybody that's trying to figure out how do we solve this problem, do you make the age higher and all that? No. You were 18 when you were drafted. There's no reason why an 18-year-old can't be drafted. But once I draft you, I shouldn't have to then force you onto my team. I shouldn't have to bring you in, and I know you're really not ready, but I love your potential. I shouldn't have to have the expectation of, well, you picked him. You were picked number one. You didn't play your first year. You weren't the starting goalie the first game of your first year. You were in the minors. That's what they did. They sent you
deep minors.
Yeah, the IHL, which doesn't exist anymore.
I was too young to play in the AHL.
But I got to ask you this question. What's the immediate incentive for the NBA to change this model and to invest in a developmental league?
Well, they are investing. Almost every team now has one. Little by little, you're seeing it's almost 30 teams and 30 D-League teams.
Invest more is what I'm saying. Invest more than what they've already done.
Because you now control the players that you draft. And you also, I think they'll expand the draft. If you can do it, if you can do the NHL model, the hockey model when it comes to the draft, you would expand the draft for me. Instead of 2 rounds, you make it 4. And now you're getting 4 players. Maybe your top pick is a guy you put on your roster. But my 2nd, 3rd, and 4th round picks, these are guys that maybe might need 2-3 years to develop. Maybe they're not ready at 18, but they're going to be ready by the time they're 21 if I put the right time into it. If I invest that time, I'm building with my own players now. And everybody's in love with that. So I don't have to chase free agents.
But if you're
I don't have to spend tons of money in free agency.
If you're that player, why wouldn't you just go back to college and stay in college and develop?
Well, you would. You could do that too. You have that option. I can draft you in the 3rd round, and if you don't want to come into the D-League and play for my team and I develop you and you're making some money, you want to play Kentucky instead, albeit, but I got your rights for at least 2 years. So if you're going to come back in the draft, you can't for 2 more years. So now you have to stay in college for 2 years. There's your choice. Mm-hmm. I drafted you at 18. You didn't want to come to the D-League. That's fine because you knew I wasn't going to put you on my roster. But you want to play in college. Good. Now you have college for 2 years. So now I know you're still getting high-end basketball competition, and you're getting the exposure you want, and you might become a better player at college, but you still might pick in the 3rd round. So you can't wait until now you have to stay for 3 years to get back in the draft if you want to redraft and be a top pick.